Hey, Al fans. Well, the dreaded blue cap. As I said last week, blue means a bad week, orange a good week. And last year, I'm not lying, I almost forgot it was a reversible hat. I had the orange on probably 20 weeks and the blue maybe 9 weeks. But it was a bad week for two reasons, and I'll expound on that. The first is, as of right now, and I always say as of right now because these are done weekly. I can't tell you what's going to happen 3 months from now. We once again prove we can't play with the elite teams. We don't match up with Montreal. We don't match up with with the Rangers. We haven't played them yet, but I'm just saying we are a middling 8th to 10th seed, and of course, to make the playoffs, you have to be in the top 8. As you know, the first 3 are at-large bids. I like to call that. You automatically make it. That's how we made it last year. We finished 3rd. We should have finished 2nd. And then Pittsburgh and Ottawa sneaked in. I think we're going to be battling all year for a wild card. All year. Because the Rangers and Caps are better than us. So they're going to finish 1-2. And then Pittsburgh went out and improved themselves. They got Letang back from injury, who's a stud, playing 24 minutes a game. And they got Donut Boy Kessel. I call him that because he's a little chunky. And we didn't improve ourselves, which I agreed with that strategy because I wanted to see the Utes progress. And Nelson has stepped up. Lee's been okay. And Strome has cost us. And the second reason this was a bad week, again, we're just a middling battle for a wild card. Lucky the Devils lost 2 in a row so we could remain in 4th place. That's why I wrote 5th last night, because the Devils have a game in hand and they're 2 points behind us. It's ridiculous. And the other reason is the Hamonic mess. Now, first of all, I respect anyone. Family's always first. And like my son wrote, you got to give the guy credit. He's played his ass off for us for 5 years. And it's unfortunate. It is a business. But you got to look at this both from the man's point of view. He wants out to be with family, and he didn't expound on what it is. One is to assume it's got to be a mother or a wife or something because his father passed away when he was 10. But on the other hand, as fans of the team and executives, Snow has to do what's right by the Islanders. He can't panic and succumb to Hamonic's request, which he knew about in the summer, and just say, okay, you want to go back home, and I'm going to do that for you, and I'm just going to give you away for a 3rd and a 4th round pick. No, we're past that rebuilding crap, okay? And here's our challenge. Defense wins championships, not offense. Defense always wins championships. In fact, Brady never won a Super Bowl without an excellent defense. The years that he lost with the Giants, they were able to pilfer his defense. I'm just trying to make a point that you win. And Hamonic, I broke down his value. He's not a great defenseman. He's a very good defenseman. But you don't get many 25-year-olds for $3.75 million that are tied up for 5 years. So the challenge that Snow has, the first mission he wants to do is to try to get a defenseman back in the deal. And the challenge with that is, I was looking at the pool, Hamonic only gave us 6 teams. It's not like he said, shop me anyway, I don't want to play for you. And of the guys that I saw, they're either young guys like Nurse on Edmonton, who's 21, that could be sensational and better than Hamonic, or they may never make it, like a Reinhardt or somebody, we don't know. And you got something proven with Hamonic, or you can get somebody older who's maybe even better than Hamonic. But he's like $6 million and screws up the cap. So the next thing that came into play, and by the way, if you ever get a chance, listen to B.D. Gallup. He writes on the wall sometimes on the Islander blogs. He does a fantastic podcast. I was telling John Leonard, when I work home and I'm not traveling, because I travel 2 days a week and the other days I'm home, when I'm bored, when I do a lot of daily posts, that means I'm home. But on days I travel, I don't get a chance. But anyway, Gallup had a great point. He said the demotion of Strome really screwed up what might have been a blockbuster deal with Hamonic and Okposo. Because he said they could have packaged Hamonic with Okposo and gotten back two comparable players, if not better. You never know. Some trades you win. But if you do that, and Strome is in the minors, now you're down a forward. Because you're losing Okposo and Strome's not playing. How are you getting better? I still think that Hamonic's going to be part of a blockbuster. Okay? I don't think you're going to get comparable value on D. But if you package him with an Okposo, you could probably get a solid defenseman with a solid forward. I'm just saying Okposo. It could be anyone else. I mean, we all joke around. We'd be glad to give Bailey away for a couple of hockey sticks and maybe 3 shiny pucks. And then Petrov could take his spot seamlessly when he comes back from his broken ankle. But no one will take Bailey. Not even for pucks. Because they don't want to spend $3.7 million and give away these great new pucks. So Bailey's a drain on our system. Okay? So here's my next take on this Hamonic thing. I know everybody doesn't agree with me on this, but I don't care because I'm the one doing the talking on this. If you look at, I do care because I read what everyone writes and I try to assess my own point of view. So I don't mean to be obnoxious by saying that. But if I follow all sports intently. I played football in college, baseball, and I love following them, all sports. And I use baseball terms a lot. I'm going to use a football term now. When you're at the draft board, by the way, you got to see Draft Day. That's a great movie with Kevin Costner. But if you're on, it's your turn to draft, right? And it's your chance, and you're looking at either best available or need. Most people try to draft to need, and our need is defense, especially for Hamonic. But let's say it's our turn now in the trading thing, and nothing's coming up, but the best available shows up on your board, and you see Taylor Hall. You make that deal. You make that deal, even though some of the guys on Uncensored wrote, oh, we're going to be weaker defensively. Yes, we will. We will. But we get exponentially stronger on O because you're picking up a 24-year-old star in the making with Tavares. You then now have Nelson on a second line, making us have 2 solid lines. And you pray that Pulock, Pelech, and Mayfield will be ready in a year. They're not Hamonic now. Let's not make any bones about it. They are not Hamonic. But if it's your turn to make the deal and they're offering you shit on D, here, just take my 7th defenseman because we know you want to dump Hamonic. You don't do that just to say you need a defenseman. You then try to get the best available athlete. And if that's a scorer, because look at Edmonton. They have a transformational star in McDavid who's out. They got Eberle. They got that other guy whose last name begins with a Z. I forgot his name. They have a million young O-studs because they've been drafting first for 1,000 years. What do they lack? Defense. That's the perfect marriage. That's the perfect marriage partner, Edmonton. But it defies what the Islanders are trying to do. It's getting rid of a good defenseman for a good forward, and a good defenseman is always worth more than a good forward because you just can't find him. So Hammer put us in a little bit of a bind. As it is with Hammer, we're a 7-9 team right now. And starting tonight, we play Montreal. We're 0-8 against them. And we're playing in their building. How do you think the week's going to start off? But on a positive note, my boy Steven is coming into town. And I'll put out a note on Tuesday. Whoever wants to meet with me and Steve, we're going to the rivalry game against Philly. It's we actually made our first national broadcast game this year. We have 4. It's going to be I think a Doc Emmerich game on NBC Sports Network. Stephen and I will be there, and I'll reach out to people. I think John Lennon said he may go to the box office and get a ticket. Matthew Story said it too, and I know Tom and Coley most likely will be at that game. So I want to get coordinates straight. I know my son's going to want to grab something to eat first, so I don't know how you guys did it at the last game when you all met. I saw all the photos. So that's what's coming up. The Hamonic mess. We have to be patient and try to get the best available, what's there. Don't panic. Hamonic said he could take the whole year. Don't do it now because he says, I need to leave. You wait and do what's best for the organization because you are honoring his request. You know, you could have told him we're just not going to play you, which is stupid on our end because he got a goal last night and he's really one of the better defensemen we have. But on the other hand, you have to think of the organization. You can't cripple this organization and unload him for picks. Then it sets us back 4 years. So that's my take on that. It's going to be tough starting off with Montreal today. All I could say is, let's go Isles. I'm really excited to go Wednesday with my son, Steven. On a personal note, everybody knows how I feel about the Coliseum, so I'm not going to say anything negative towards Barclays, okay? Because I just love the Coliseum. But the last game, my poor son, serving this country, I brought him to the last game, and of course they were $125 a ticket in row S. And here's a kid who's going to be fighting ISIS in 4 months, and he's sitting in row S. And he's bending down. He goes, Dad, I can't see anything. Do you know how much time is left on a penalty? I go, no. He goes, you just love this place because of history. He goes, I can't see anything. So I went out of my way and I got him tickets in the 100 section, which is not the lower bowl, but it's the middle section. Nice, pretty much center ice seats. So at least now the poor kid who's serving his country won't have to bend down and ask me, how many minutes are there left on the power? How many minutes are left in the period? And he doesn't have to pee in his pants like he did when he couldn't go to the bathroom because the lines were so long that I had to tell him to wait till 6 minutes left. And here's a first lieutenant shaking his knees to run to the bathroom. That won't happen on Wednesday either. So with that in mind, let's go Isles. Let's suck it up. Come on, Snow. I have faith in you to pull off I want a blockbuster. We need a blockbuster anyway, and maybe just shake the dynamics of this team because there's things that are missing. So until next Sunday, let's go Isles. And I'll see some people Wednesday. Looking forward to it.